And my job is to help businesses adopt cloud and digital technologies, modernize their applications, and help businesses optimize their overall technology costs. And it is my absolute privilege and honor to be a speaker at this event and host you all. Now, I've been with the organization for a little over 5 years now and had the privilege to notice the transformation of SMEs across the country. I've had the privilege and had front row seats when it comes to technology adoption by SMEs. So over the next 10 to 15 minutes, I would want to share some of the observations that I've had during this period. We'll start with an overview of the SMB landscape of the country, the contribution of the sector towards India's economy. We'll also talk about the importance of technology and importance of cloud and digital technologies to the success and growth of SMEs in the country. And finally, I'll give you an overview of AWS, how we have been supporting the ecosystem, the SME ecosystem in the country, and how we have committed ourselves to digitize millions of SMBs at scale within the country by 2025. So, to begin with, let me just give you a view of the SMB ecosystem of the country. India today probably is one of the biggest, the largest SME ecosystem in the world. As per the ROC data, we have 75 million registered SMEs across the country. And this number has been growing at a staggering pace of 17% year on year. And the contribution of the SME sectors towards the growth of our country has been nothing short of monumental. So if you look at the share of the SME sector to India's economy, today India is the 5th largest economy in the world with a cumulative GDP of roughly $3.7 trillion. About 37% of that comes from the SME sector. As of last fiscal, if you look at our overall exports, India touched roughly $760 billion of export, out of which 48% came from the SME sector. And if you talk about employment, the SME sector employs roughly 130 million Indians, which is approximately 41% of the trained workforce of the country. Now, so if you look at it, SMEs truly form the backbone of our economy, and as they grow and expand into newer markets, bring in new product lines, they are truly contributing to our vision of building an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all the SMBs out here for their contribution towards the growth of our economy. You've not just helped India sustain, but propel the country forward and build the brand across the world. Now, however, the growth that we have seen hasn't come easily. There has been constant reinvention of business models. SMEs had to reinvent every now and then. In fact, when we started, only a few years down the line, while we were in an era of massive digitization, the internet penetration across the world was significant. But still, with the advent of COVID, we saw that overnight the businesses across the world faced uncertainty, business models had to change, and there are tons of changes that happened across the world. One of the biggest learnings that we saw over these last 4 years has been that to make sure that as a business to be relevant to your customers, to your partners, you need to constantly re-innovate yourself. And that's where technology comes into play. SMEs have to lead with technology as at the forefront, use that as the differentiator for their businesses. Now, while we all understand that technology is at the forefront of driving the digital transformation of SMBs, and it is imperative that SMBs need to adopt technology, but we need to step back and look at how you should approach this change. Fundamentally, there has to be a change in our conventional thinking of technology adoption, starting with the change that is required at the leadership level. It is imperative that your leadership is fully committed towards the goal of going digital. They need to ensure that the entire organization is aligned with that vision. Your leadership needs to set clear expectations across your teams to ensure that they all work together to drive the digital transformation of the organization. In fact, when we look at some of the success stories, some of the SMBs which have successfully digitized themselves, we see a common thread where there has been a relentless focus on digitization. There has been a top-down focus on driving digitization through the organization. And finally, when it comes to digitization, it is imperative that you look at technology and constantly experiment with your business processes to ensure that if there's a business process or a service that is not working, you can move away quickly from that to a new service or a product. Now, I would argue that today probably every business has become a digital business. Gone are the days when we saw that there was a clear demarcation between the lines of business and IT. Over years, with the change in the consumer pattern, I'm sure you all would have also noticed this. Users are consuming services and products more digitally, and businesses have to align their technology strategy to make sure that they service their customers. And then slowly and steadily, we're seeing that the boundaries between IT and businesses are blurring. No longer, IT is no longer a cost center anymore. It has become an enabler for business growth. It is helping businesses to expand into new markets. And one of the important trends that we have been noticing over the years, that now IT has also made room into boardrooms and helping build digital enterprises of tomorrow. Now, while we were seeing these trends, and there are clear results that a lot of these businesses have achieved by adopting technology. This is a snippet of a study done by IDC, where they looked at the SMB maturity of roughly 1,400 SMBs across ASEAN in 14 different markets. And what they noticed was businesses which were intentional about adopting technology and building a clear differentiation of their products and services using technology were able to grow their top line by 3.8x as compared to their competition. Not just that, the adoption of technology helped these businesses to grow the employee engagement, which again has been a crucial element for success of any organization. And finally, in terms of operational efficiencies, while your top lines are growing, you also have to make sure that you're growing efficiently, and using technology, it becomes a lot more easier. Now, before we start talking about the advantages of moving to cloud, I'm sure you all would have heard different definitions about what is cloud and how is one cloud different from others. So just to give you a brief and quick introduction, the way we perceive cloud is on-demand delivery of IT services and solutions over the internet. The key being on-demand delivery, wherein you don't have to wait for provisioning infrastructure. It is available to you at a click of a button. And some of the advantages which our customers drive through adopting cloud starts with the agility that they realize in their business. Teams can experiment quickly and often to figure out what is it that works for their business They are no longer limited to the long deployment cycles of infrastructure. Your technology spends to your business growth. Elasticity, with elasticity, the capability that public cloud provides you, you can easily scale up your infrastructure as and when your business requirements varies. And finally, the ability to innovate faster. You are not limited to building technology solutions in-house. You don't have to worry about deploying a data lake or an AI/ML service to grow your or innovate your business. All these functionalities are available to you at a click of a button. And finally, the ability which cloud provides you to expand your business. And the infrastructure that AWS provides you, using that and using our global footprint, you can expand across markets within the matter of seconds. You are no longer limited by the availability of your infrastructure in a particular region. It gives me immense pleasure and something that I usually boast about. We have been present in Mumbai since 2016, and since then AWS has never had a single downtime hour in India. Second is around scalability. So the massive infrastructure that we have built, if you truly want to look at the scale of this infrastructure, it is almost about the compute capacity of a Fortune 500 that we have been adding year on year, every day, year on year. So this translates to availability of services on demand at any point. You can not just that, with this you can deploy your applications as and when required. It gives you the flexibility to automate your workload, and you can be rest assured that there will be enough and more compute capacity available for your workloads when you need them. And finally, around security. Our core infrastructure has been built to adhere to the security requirements of militaries and global banks. We adopt a shared, when it comes to security, we look at a shared responsibility model wherein the security of the cloud is managed by AWS, right from the physical infrastructure over to the physical hardware, and the security in the cloud is managed by our customers. So, and we help you design secure applications by providing access to fine-grained access controls, encryption tools, and so on and so forth. How can you get started with us? Our teams are spread across the country, so no matter where you are, feel free to reach out. There are multiple channels through which you can reach us. Just drop us a note on our website, or there are a few partners available here. You can talk to them, and our teams will get in touch with you, talk to you about your use case, help you design solutions, and help you with executing a POC on cloud without any cost, so that you get an understanding of what your application behavior would look like when it moves to cloud and what your expected costs will be. And finally, I understand that despite all this, you will have some apprehensions because this is a big change. And keeping that in mind, we brought in our biggest and boldest investment to the country, AWS Lift, through which SMBs can unleash the power of AWS without any commercial without any commercial commitments. Now, I'll like to invite. We can talk about the advantages of AWS, how we are different, and what we have been doing with other customers. But we thought it will be much better if we bring in some of our customers who have been through this journey with us and talk about their stories, the innovation that they have seen in their business, the way they have changed their business over time. And so I would like to invite Mr. Sandeep Chhetri, CEO of Infocom Network. Sandeep has been an industry veteran for over a decade and has transformed his business time and again. And he has been engaged with the SME ecosystem of the country very closely, and has been supporting the digitization of SMEs across the country. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for Mr. Chetri.
SMBs. So before I start, I just wanted to know from the audience, how many of you are already in cloud? If you can raise your hand. Okay. Good. And how many of you think that cloud can help you grow your business? Please raise your hand. Okay, still 30%. So I think today's this session, maybe end of the session, you will all will agree that of course cloud will help you. Not only somebody spoke about agility, cost saving, so on and so forth, but it will also help you to grow your business. Okay, that's what I will be talking about. How innovation can accelerate your business using cloud. Okay. So my name is Sandeep Chetri. I am responsible for growth of business, basically TradeIndia.com, and I'll talk a little bit of Trade India as well. How we as a Trade India is helping SMBs to grow the business. But I really liked this SME on cloud. I just wanted to articulate here. If you see SME on cloud, Breeze is AWS, and SME future. If you just articulate it this way, this SME future is there when you be on cloud, and who will help you to be there is AWS. It's a very, I was just thinking, little bit that if you agree to this, then I think, it will help you to grow your business, yeah? So of course, lot of data points somewhere I've already said, but just to give an idea that 60% of the corporate data is stored in cloud. Cloud is growing year in year. But is cloud helping SMBs? Okay, and how innovations can help? That's what I will talk about in my session. So a little bit about Trade India. TradeIndia.com is a B2B marketplace. We are one of the oldest marketplace. It's been almost 30 years. Again, a poll. How many people know about Trade India? Please raise your hand. Okay. I think everybody in this hall will know about Trade India now. So what we do is, we help connect buyers and sellers. And it's been almost 30 years we are in this business. And as Sombi has shared, in India there are almost 75 million SMBs. And out of the 75 million SMBs, only 37% are digitally connected. Only 37%. Okay. Now out of the 75 million SMBs, as we speak, 10 million SMBs have already registered with TradeIndia.com, and they are using Trade India's services to grow their business. And what we do is, it's a discovery platform. You can come to our platform, you can register on the platform, you can search manufacturers, exporters, suppliers, traders on the platform and connect with them. We have almost 2.8 million sellers who have posted almost 1 crore products across 90,000 categories. That's the kind of data we handle. And this cannot be possible if we are not in cloud. Okay, maybe I'll just elaborate more. But as we speak, we get around 70 million monthly impressions on the platform, 12 million monthly page views, 6.5 million monthly unique visitors, 6 million active users, and 120 million yearly inquiries. Which is like in every 1 second, we get 4 requirements on the platform. It's massive. And that is where the cloud computing and lot of innovations which has come in help us to process such data in a very, very fast way. Okay. Why these data points are very, very important is just because the kind of traffic which is coming on the platform should be able to handle that. And for that, you need a very, very good cloud services to be there. And on a platform, more than, the visitors are coming from almost 1200 plus cities, 480 languages. We were surprised to see the data. When we saw the data, we found that 480 languages globally they're converting our website and they're trying to consume content. They're trying to connect with the manufacturers and suppliers, and they want to see the content in their language. Okay? And third, most important aspect was when we, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, I would like to say that data also, pre-pandemic, SMBs were using more desktop and all, and our traffic was coming 40% only from mobile. But after pandemic, it was nearly 70%. So what this shows that even the user behavior of the SMBs are changing now. They are consuming content on mobile. That's one. That means your buyers are there on mobile today. Second, they've started adopting internet and technology. So now first line of business now has become online. अगर आप ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंट नहीं हो, if you are not there online, then you are losing business or you are giving your business to your competition. Okay? And how we use this data, I'll speak more about it. But other than that, globally, our website is being visited from almost 180 countries, and majorly these are the countries, US, UK, where export and import is happening a lot. 20% of our traffic comes from these countries. Okay. But why these data are critical? This is where cloud and analytics comes in place. Okay. The cloud, हम लोग सोचते हैं, when people think about cloud, we think about storage, we think about data, and we think about cost optimization. That agility, productivity, हम तो यही सोचते हैं कि cloud का मतलब यही है. Anybody can define anything else? कोई कुछ सोच सकता है cloud का अलग क्या कर सकते हैं? Anybody? हाँ? Peace of mind, yes. Anybody else? Serverless computing, correct. I'll show you my pain area, okay? We are a data, it's an elephant of data. It's a huge elephant, okay? 10 million data, 10 million user behavior data, and we used to have our own data center. Hardware crash हुआ, engineers सारे भाग रहे हैं data center पे maintain करने के लिए. It's like that. Site is down for so many hours. Ease, which you said, right? No pain. Cloud पे है. We are in the same infrastructure where Amazon is there. इससे ज़्यादा तो क्या चाहिए proof of concept? नहीं चाहिए ना? I think जेफ जो उनका फाउंडर है, वो भी उसी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में डेटा देख रहा है जिस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में हम देख रहे होंगे. Nothing is required. सोचना ही नहीं है. Okay? So we did lot of innovations, and we have started these innovations using Amazon Cloud. Okay? First, we thought that what is that we need to look at? We're looking at the data points which I shared with you. Linguistic था, language में 48 languages में 480 languages में data देख रहे हैं. So these 3 V's are very, very critical, and this is the future of digital. Voice, vernacular, and video. Okay? And first we started with vernacular. What we did was we used Amazon technology to convert all our website in Hindi. Why Hindi? Because of the 400, out of this 480 languages we saw traffic coming from. First, after English, the second was Hindi. And you will see some amazing results also. Within 3 months, after converting our website in Hindi, we got 9.75 million impressions. Isn't it huge? Opportunity. So clouds give you that strength and go to market faster, जो Sombi was saying. And can you tell me how much time it would have taken to convert our website in Hindi? Any guesses? How much time? to convert TradeIndia.com, which has got 10 million users, maybe lakhs, millions of pages, how much time would you have taken? Huh? Real time? Okay. I'll show you. 30 lakh pages, one day. 30 lakh pages, one day, see the power. And we are online, and as we say, business में क्या चाहिए? Fast चाहिए ना? Everything has to be faster, and we got this 9.7 million and 3 lakh unique users using Hindi language pages to consume the content plus send inquiries. This was an additional business we started getting from these users. Isn't it powerful? How is it possible? That is where you have to think about cloud. Cloud is not about storage, it's about using additional services, those API based services. API pull kiya, convert kiya, done, you are live. Within a day you are live with all your pages. Second is, voice search. What we did is, we did a pilot with all the SMBs. We created a WhatsApp group, and where we said we brought in all the buyer and seller at one place. We created a lot of different groups as per the category, and we thought that what is the kind of communication they are using in order to interact with each other. And we were surprised to see the most used communication was voice. They were just recording the voice and replying there. Okay? That is where we thought that why not use voice search, and because 70% of the traffic is coming from mobile, can we implement this on our website? And again, the same great results which we saw. 45,000 users using voice search, and we saw a pattern there, a different pattern there. Typically when we search, we just write product name, right? Brass handicraft. But when it was voice, they were more personalized search query they were using. For example, they were saying that brass handicraft, Muradabad.
As we welcome on stage Anuja Agarwal, over to you.
And thank you, Sandeep. Wonderful insights. My name is Anuja Agarwal. I am part of Innovation Programs team. I work as Innovation Program Specialist. Sombir earlier spoke about AWS and what AWS services are. Now, I am not going to talk about AWS at all. Is that okay? I am going to talk about Amazon. Is that okay? And I am going to talk about a slightly different topic, which is very important for every organization: innovation. I joined Amazon about 8 years ago and had the opportunity to work with different Amazon businesses: Amazon Retail, e-commerce, Prime Video, AWS, and have met different kinds of people, different industries. And the common question that gets often asked to us is, how does Amazon innovate? An organization so large, how do you remain agile? How do you remain so relevant? So that's what I'm going to share with you today. What is Amazon's approach towards innovation? So let me ask you this, what comes to your mind when you think about Amazon? The first word that comes to your mind? Shopping. Big e-commerce company, right? Anything else? A to Z. Convenience, customer experience, deliveries, supply chain, marketplace, exactly. So we have big e-commerce company delivering business. We have business at scale, large supply chain because we are delivering millions of products in a day, and a good customer experience. How does Amazon do all of it? How do we get it right? It's very difficult to maintain good customer experience when you have business at scale, right? Would you agree? But how does Amazon get it right? And when we want to hear about Amazon's innovation, thing, how does Amazon get it? Who best to answer other than Jeff Bezos himself, founder of Amazon? I'm sure you know. So he said there are 3 things which Amazon focuses on and will always focus on. We will start with customer. Who are these customers? It could be anything. They could be end consumer for Amazon e-commerce, content consumer for Prime Video, book reader for Kindle, or enterprises like yourselves for AWS. We will start with them. What are the problems or challenges that any of these customers are having in their lives? And then we will start working on that. To build a solution to solve for these challenges, we will invent the second step, and then keep inventing, keep refining it, which means be patient. Because if you get these 3 things right, Jeff says that there are high chances your business will succeed. Let me put that into some real life examples from Amazon itself. Would you know from where the journey of Amazon started? Any idea? Why he chose book rather was because non-perishable item, easy to store, easy to ship. From books to now we have multiple categories, multiple businesses. And when the business was expanding, someone in an interview asked Jeff, what are the 3 things that will change in your business in next 5 years? And you know, he said, great question, but a better question would be, which no one has ever asked me, is that Jeff, what are the 3 things that will never change in your business? Because I would rather spend my time, energy, resources on these 3 things. And the 3 things which will never change for any of the Amazon business will be price, selection, convenience. You know, there will be never any customer who will say that, by the way, I love Amazon, but I wish they were a little more expensive. Or nobody will ever say, I love Amazon, but I wish they were a little more inconvenient, or they can show me less options. Nobody is ever going to say that, right? Relevant for even AWS. Will you ever say that I love AWS, but I wish it would be little higher prices? No one is ever going to say that. And what we do is that when we innovate, we focus on these 3 things. And talking about convenience, let me give you one example. You know, Amazon is very, very writing-driven company. We write. We don't use PPTs. It's just for the meetings like these we use PPTs, but internally we just write, and write a lot. Trust me. If we have any idea, our leadership team will say, no, sorry, I don't want to hear it. Please write and send it to me. And in like 1 pager, 6 pages, we write lot of ideas, and then those gets reviewed. Review happens through those docs. So how do we start? We start with writing what customer wants. What are the customer challenges? So talking about convenience, we realized that this is what customer is asking for. Why can't we get products faster? Convenience means fast deliveries, right? In terms of Amazon. And we converted this into our written format. What can we do? What will the end result will look like? Or what should be the end result? And we said, how might we deliver products to customers in 2 days or less? And this is the end result we wanted to achieve. Now we started using technology. We started putting teams together to achieve this end result. And you know what was the outcome? Prime, absolutely. In 2005, we launched Prime. working backwards from that challenge statement, which meant at a subscription cost, we will deliver products faster to the customer. It was $79 in US. I think it is $1499 in India. But this was the end result. But there was a lot of technology, lot of innovation that happened at the back end. And let me show you some behind the scenes pictures. So this is how Amazon fulfillment centers, warehouses, used to look like. We had bins. So if an order comes, picker will have a list of articles on that order, will move through the aisles, pick up the products, maybe some products in the front aisle, from the back aisle, and then based on his speed of movement, he will go to the packer, give those products, and packer will pack it, send it to the dispatch team. This process used to take a lot of time. How can we make 2 days delivery commitment with that process? So a lot of innovations happened at the back end. We introduced conveyor belts, then auto move for pickers so that we are not dependent on his speed. This was the second generation of fulfillment center. Today we are at the 9th generation of fulfillment center, and with each generation there was 30% productivity improvement. And you know how it looks like? The 9th generation looks like these. So picker, human being, doesn't have to go to the product, but products are brought to the human being, and through these racks, robotic systems. The system also tells us what product to keep where based on what kind of orders are getting, the products are being ordered together. So there are these shelves and it is random stocking. Our system tells us, we have used our machine learning algorithms to tell us what products to keep where. The robots will bring it to the picker, who will also know where this product is kept because it lights up. And then he will just pick up the product, pack it, and push it on the conveyor belt where it goes to the dispatch team. Now, we didn't use technology for the sake of it. We knew what the end result we wanted, fast delivery. This is a very common problem these days, On a lighter note, I met a friend yesterday. He works in the IT team of a manufacturing company, and he was very stressed. He said, my chairman is reading Gen AI will change the world. And there's a lot of pressure on the team to use Gen AI. Now, team has no idea what they are going to do with Gen AI, but there's a lot of pressure. And everybody in the team is figuring out how do we use Gen AI without thinking what the end result they want. We call it chairman's problem, right? Sometimes because there's a lot of things in the news, there's a lot of technology words in the news, we don't know what do we want to achieve. So coming back to the same thing, that how we think about, as Amazon, we think about solving a problem or using technology is we start with the problem statement, the challenge statement, what do we want to solve for? And while we were working on making these products available to the customers in 2 days, there were launch of devices like MP3 players and those small devices where people carrying thousands of songs in their pocket. And again, a customer problem. They said, if we are carrying thousands of songs in our pocket, why can't we carry books? This was the challenge statement that customer had. And we, again, what do? We write. So we wrote this opportunity statement for us. How might we bring any book anywhere to our customers in less than 60 seconds? Again, put together a lot of teams, technology. What was the end result? Kindle. And when Kindle was launched, it was not the product that we use today, the sleeker version. It was like this. the bulky device, because at that time designers were more focused on giving readers the best reading quality experience and as if they are holding a paper book. And you know, when Kindle was launched, it got sold out in less than 6 hours. And we clearly know customers are loving this product. But what was market saying? Market said, Amazon, are you mad? Because you are cannibalizing your own business. You are paper book selling company and you have launched e-reader. But that was the most customer centric thing to do. That was what customer wanted. If you don't innovate fast enough, there are enough players in the market who will innovate on your behalf. So,
I have 16 years of IT experience. I started with Infosys as a system engineer. Then I worked for MNCs like Tech Mahindra, AWS, and worked here as a solution architect. These days, my focus is to bring IT-enabled community management in India. We are like first in many fields in terms of community management. Like we have agri-reach patented process and systems. Similarly, we are working on the same lines in agri-suraksha, which is under filing of patent. So this is my area of work right now.
Thank you so much, Prashant.
Hi everyone, my name is Vidur Mahajan. Thank you AWS for having me here. So I am a doctor by education, and I have attended hundreds of medical events, medical technology events, and all that. And more recently I've started attending hardcore technology events such as this. I am extremely impressed to see that दारू event के बाद होती है, and still people show up. So, on the medical side of things, the alcohol is always first, hence people show up. And then the conversations are very entertaining, as you can probably imagine. So on that note, I serve as the Chief Executive Officer for Carpal.ai. We are a startup in the healthcare AI space. We are a platform that connects developers of AI solutions for radiology to users of AI solutions for radiology. And we are one of those built in India for the world, companies. So we are headquartered out of Delhi, but our customer base is across the US, Brazil, Singapore, and Australia. And I'm sure we'll talk more about that. So it's very, very exciting to be.
Thank you so much.
So I am Antin Anuwal. I have around 23 years of experience, hardcore techie, right? So I started my career in 2000 with a small company. I think worked for 4 companies, built 4 products, right? So technologists, 20 products. In 2016, I decided to leave my job and started my own company called ION Innovations. So why IoT Innovations? So we started working into IoT space. Okay, so we thought of going into some niche area. There we started building our own products, whether it's hardware, software. So background was software, but we started with hardware actually, right? So, but we choose Amazon because of their IoT service, and we started integrating our IoT platform with AWS IoT. Right, so there we started moving on, we built different kind of products, right, and providing services also with regards to it, right. So first we build our product, and then we go and provide those services in the market, right. So we are making products plus we are providing services, right. So we are services partners.
Thank you so much for introducing yourself. I'm sure it will be a wonderful interaction for the audience as well. I would like to start with you, Prashant, right? So Somir was talking about how traditional businesses are now seeing a blend of digital. And I strongly believe that because the end consumers are going digital. So if I forget my wallet today, I don't really have to worry. Everything is there on my phone. I can make my payments, I can show my identity, and I can pretty much shop anywhere, do anywhere, and I don't really need to carry my wallet, right? So that's digitization for me at a personal level, right? And I wanted to know from you, what are the digital transformation initiatives, leading by innovation that your organizations and you under your leadership are leading today in your field? If you could walk our audience through those, that would be really a good starting point.
Sure. So, probably when we think about AWS or any other technology, probably we are very used to of these things, or at least we are interested, and it is a part of our day-to-day life. Even to say, just a small example, let's say Netflix or anything, which is driven through technology. We are somewhere connected to technology, but think about like farmers. They are not so much connected to the technology. They are still busy in their day-to-day life, doing their hard work and selling that product of their hard work, the food grains, the harvest, to some big merchants, to some intermediaries. So I will just, to answer your question, I will just take one small example that I started with SLCM. Of course, the idea was of our group CEO and the leadership and vision of Mr. Sahib. But I got this opportunity to start it, and the idea was, let me do the use case first. So a farmer goes to intermediaries and he sells his food grain. Now these food grains need to be tested, a kind of a quality check that need to be happen, right? And this is some kind of a mandatory requirement in selling, storing, or procurement of the food grains. So generally the process is samples gets collected, sent to the laboratory. Laboratories have some queues, then they will test it, and then they will send the result back. So it will take, you can say in the best case, it may take 2 days might be, because reaching to the laboratories and then coming back with the results. Because laboratories are not like any small shops where you can do this, because they are like a lot of test cases. And because intermediaries are there, and you have to rely on whatever the results have been given to the merchant, and merchant has shown to the farmer. So based on that, the pricing happens on the commodities. Now, let's imagine if our farmer as well just click the photograph of the commodity and its results comes to his mobile phone, if not in second, let's say in minute. And that are accredited results, means like AWS is the organization or authority which is responsible for assigning test certificates and all those things. So if results come AWS certified, then there is no intermediary and there is no malintentions to reduce the quality, to reduce the price and all those things. So price will be tagged on its actual, and it is happening in seconds or in minutes. So this is one of the use cases that we have tried, and now it is in we are using it in our warehouses, and very soon we will also put it in the market as well. Right now we have enabled accredited mobile app which is AI/ML enabled, which uses AWS services for image processing, storage, and definitely for the transfer of all these data, both on devices as well as on the cloud. So this is something which is going to help farmers. So this is one of the use cases where technology really helps, and helps in the real sense, in terms that food is something which is very essential for ourselves, for being as a human, or any living being. And if you are helping there, then definitely it is going to help the person who is responsible for that, the farmer.
True, very well said, right? And it's a very valid use case as well. Prashant, when organizations look at digital transformation, I'm sure it's a buzzword for most of the companies and most of our colleagues out here. How would you suggest, or where do you feel cloud fits in digital transformation, or how you can innovate using cloud?
Okay, so probably my previous example was on a very narrow scale. Now let me give you a context of the supply chain market where we operate. Then probably my answer will make more sense and more intuitive to understand. We are in post-harvest supply chain market, where where quantities comes from farmer to mandis, from mandis to, let's say, big merchants, from big merchants to storage, and then from storage to factories, and then to the end consumer. Now, as per the government data, we are short by 35 million metric tons of food grains. We do not even have cold storage capacities of 10% of our requirement. Then, as I told you about the quality check thing, right? And most important, there is 10% of loss in post-harvesting supply chain. Means the food get destroyed, 10%. Now, if I have to be a player in that kind of market, and I have to be a very good player, if not the big player, then I need to address all these issues. Sorry. We are having a throughput of 3,223 plus million metric tons with 223 million square feet of area. Now imagine if I have to monitor all those locations. Point number one. I'm just giving you a scale so that I can come to the answer of your question. I have to monitor all these locations because I have to ensure that there must be no deviation to the standard operating procedures of the warehouse management. There must not be theft on which the product management happens. Then quality check obviously I have to do, and most importantly, the 10% that I told you, we must have processes that must lower that 10%, right? And Ms. Vicky assistant studies validated that our post-harvest loss is only 0.5%. So 10% is average, ours is 0.5%. This cannot happen without technology. Why? 12,000 plus warehouses managing that at central location, where all these locations are operating at a kind of a decentralized manner. I need cloud. So that feed comes to the cloud, I can collate that and I can see that as a map at point number one. Point number two, to manage warehouse qualities so that the food grains do not get destroyed, right? I must have sensors that should give me all those information back so that I can take timely actions. Again, this real-time application that is happening can happen through cloud by using their step functions, by using their IoT services. Another part is that when these locations are operating in decentralized manner, where it's not like a very simple thing that inward happens, then outward happens automatically. No, it happens in a queue manner. Like lot of inwards happening at the same time, then we have to register it. At the same time, at the real time, we have to give this information to the banks who have given collaterals on those food grains. But these need to be validated by the audit team. So it means data has to be visible to each and every party at the real-time basis, on a consistent basis, and on a complete basis. So this required speed of data, lot of people accessing the system, so it means scalability and all these things are also in question. Authentication, security is also in question. So all these things within one roof, as it was mentioned in Sanjeev's presentation as well, peace of mind. So peace of mind comes when we have such, we can say, trusted services available that we have to just plug and play, and the rest we can focus on our business and conceptualizing our business.
Absolutely. In fact, that is one of the advantages of cloud, right? You focus on your core business and then let the technology part come on cloud and hence forward the innovation, right? So that's a very well said example and a very impressive data, right? 10% average, you brought it down to 0.5% for your business.
And we have not waited for that as well.
Wow, lovely.
That I will reach.
Lovely, lovely. So how many of you feel that you can...
Stars align. But But seriously, there was an opportunity. We thought we were the only ones who understood that solution space. So we took it upon ourselves कि हम नहीं तो कौन, and that remains the case.
Thank God you decided that, so that we found you as a customer as well. So very interesting journey, right? And you are in the radiology space, right? And I want to understand from you. I am very curious to understand what are some of the challenges that you are solving today, and AI/ML is something you have widely adopted. So would love to hear what are some of the AI/ML applications as well which is helping you solve those challenges.
Sure. So if you take a step, so who here has had an MRI scan, CT scan, X-ray, or something like that done? In pretty healthy audience, yeah, good. Stay like that. So basically, there's about 3.5 billion MR, CT, X-ray, PET scan, ultrasound kind of things that are done all over the world every year. Right? There is a group of doctors called radiologists. It takes about 15 years to make one of them. Typically, they are rank 1, 2, 3 kind of people. So they have to look at these images and interpret them. There's only about 200,000 of such people all over the world. Right? So it doesn't matter if you're in Boston or Bangladesh or Sub-Saharan Africa. There is a deficiency of radiologists all over the world. That means a couple of things. One, that means that radiology tests are very expensive. So if you compare radiology to the world of blood testing, right? Blood tests wo board lage hue bade bade 99 rupees, and those boards are consistent across the world, right? Pathology has been totally democratized thanks to automation, right? You put in blood, you get out a number. I don't know if there's anybody in healthcare here. If you have ever visited a Lal Labs ka lab or something, there are no people. Like literally, there are no people, but there'll be a room this big filled with conveyor belts, and very similar to the Amazon, journey. Whereas in radiology, everything comes down to this doctor, right? And there's limited number of those doctors. That leads to price increase. It also leads to lack of access to technology. There is enough money to set up 100 MRI centers anywhere in the world, but there are no people to run those machines. There are no people to report those scans, so on and so forth. So that's where AI, over the last 5-7 years, ever since deep learning came to the fore, companies all over the world started sprouting to build solutions to cater to this problem. The solutions, one of the most common solutions that is today available in India also widely is tuberculosis screening using AI. Right? So the WHO has issued a guidance that says that today you can use X-ray with AI to screen for TB without a human intervention. Right? So it's a huge thing for the industry, and that is one classical use case. So now there are in various districts of the country. It's at the inception of its adoption curve right now, but in several districts across the country, there are people going either ghar to ghar, or there are camps being set up in villages where people come. They are screened for tuberculosis. If AI says yes, there is possible tuberculosis, then those people go in for a sputum test and enter the healthcare system. If not, nothing. So that is one example. The other example is of breast cancer screening. Right, a mammogram is a scan that every woman above the age of 40 should get done either every year or every 2 years, depending on the country you live in. Again, in our country, there are certainly more women above the age of 40 than there are machines to scan them. Still, we don't see queues upon queues of people. Right? Again, why? Because price is very high. Now AI is coming in to do what is called a negative rule out, right? Where by design, screening for anything means that 95-99% of people are not going to have that disease. So AI is being used now to say, this is a mammogram, it's normal. Human need not read it. Again, it is subject to regulation and all that. But a human can group all those negative scans and go through them really fast. कि नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं है, नहीं है, as opposed to having to look at each can in detail. So that is, and you know, I can go across. Basically, we talk about this triad of body part, modality, and bimari, which is like, so head CT stroke, chest CT cancer, chest X-ray tuberculosis. So n number of applications across this. What we are doing at Carpal is aggregating all of these solutions into a single user interface for radiologists. But that's the solution space here, and it's exploding at a crazy extent now.
Wow. And I've heard you twice talking about multiple countries. Either you are a travel fan or you are really looking to scale your business there. So I want to understand, how does cloud, I'm sure you must be talking to a lot of healthcare providers, a lot of peers in your group and in the entire value chain globally. And when you go and talk to them about the solution that you have built, AI based on cloud, what are some of the objections that come to you? How do you convince them to adopt a solution on cloud, or what drives them to adopt a solution on cloud? Or if it were not cloud, how do you think the scenario would happen?
Yeah, so I think you know, the one-line answer is we would not exist if there was no cloud. Right, because again, you know, sitting here in Delhi to have a customer base across the world, you know, my team is here. All they have to do is, in fact, Herman has his laptop on. He's probably spinning up instances as we speak. So you know, it's just crazy how simple it is for us to sit here and open a computer in Sao Paulo. It's for the 3 seconds. Maybe not even that, automatically over that, right? So it's 0 seconds. So for me as a layperson, you know, I imagine if I'll have to send somebody there, I'll have to find some distributor, that distributor will buy a you know, GPU based system, then deliver it there, then कोई बिजली देगा, कोई LAN देगा, कोई कुछ देगा, you know, फिर वो OS डालेगा. And we have also done that journey at sites, for example, in the US that are not as amenable to cloud as maybe a Brazil, right? So it is just crazy how easy things become, and sometimes, you know, you don't realize it, right? I have this crazy thing, you know, on Zomato, when you order food, just look at the number of things that happen in the backend and you get the food, right? Similarly, for cloud, like if you just think through all the things that happen at the backend to, you know, spin up that whatever EC2 instance or something. So we would not exist if the cloud was not there. What do our customers say? Our customers are going through their own journeys, is what I would say, right? There's many people there that have spent you know, tens of millions of dollars on hardware in data centers. They are waiting for that hardware to get you know, amortized, and hence, you know, hence then move to the cloud. So they take their newer initiatives to the cloud. AI inferencing, running of AI is something that has to happen on the cloud. It's just too expensive to do at home plan. So they are going through their own journeys, which are also accelerated by AWS.
Thank you for sharing for these insights and use cases. Atin, I would like to come to you. You mentioned about your product building journey, right? You have come up with a lot of products. I would want to know from you, what are some of the products you have built and what are those applications? If you could just walk us through that.
Yeah. So I don't remember how many products did I build exactly, but I will talk about few. Right. So we started with a product called Inspected. Right. So that was for the fleet management. Right. So that was a successful product. We launched in 2017 using AWS. Right. Fully scalable. Where we used to have around 10,000 odd vehicles running, like your school buses, private vehicles, trucks, etc. And then we used to have the parents watching the means at what ETA the buses will be reaching in the morning or in the afternoon. Right, so that was the one product. Means multiple USBs, real-time tracking and everything. Means within 1 second we can tell you where is the bus actually, the exact location that you see on your mobile device. Right, so then we reached to 2020, right? The COVID happened, so we shut down this product because of the lockdown and everything. So we moved to another product. So that was for the online recruitment platform, right? So it's like it is managing your all the job profiles that might be have. Plus, we were recording the interactions between candidate and the expert who was taking the interview, right? So we used to store all this information into S3, and today I think we have around 50 terabytes of media files, right? Belongs to these kind of interactions. All we are storing into S3 bucket, cost effective and everything, right? Still working. Recently, there is a buzz coming out, ChatGPT, AI/ML, plus the SQL, right? So right now we are building two more products. One is what we call centers, wherein you can just send us the call recordings of the agent and the customer, and we do different kind of analytics on that, like your emotions, how the sentiment analytics are going on, how the conversation was going on, and we are generating proper reports out of that, right? So again, it's scalable. We must be launching in next couple of weeks, right? So the second product that's in work in progress is your cloud security posture management. The security is a big problem or a challenge when it comes to public cloud, right? Most of the public or cloud users are not aware of what their security posture looks like, right? So believe me, when I run this product on my infrastructure itself, right? So there were a lot of vulnerabilities, and I was shocked looking at that, right? So I closed first of all using this tool itself, and we might be launching this product in next couple of months, right? So this is the product journey we have.
Interesting line of products, right? And with different years coming in, you have just quickly moved from one product to other product to third product.
What can you expect from that?
I want to know, when you have this idea and when you see an application of that product that you're trying to build, then of course comes a question on where do I host this product, where do I develop this product, and how do I roll out this product to multiple users at scale, right? And I don't know what the scale would be. It could attract 200 customers or it could attract to 1 million customers. So what was the thought process that you went through in deciding on what should be the right platform for such scalable products, and it's a SaaS-based world now. So what was that thought process and why did you choose AWS?
Okay, so I think the first thing was the global presence. Okay, so it is important that whenever you are making any product, along with the scalability, you can roll out this anywhere, right? And when I say this, because I came from a world where a lot of compliances would have been taken care of, right? So all the AWS services, except I was going through the list. I think it's only AWS satellite. I could not do because I don't have a base station, right? So otherwise, it's like, so let me tell you, it's a good example that I give always. Have you seen these Lego blocks, right? So you give this Lego block to me in the form of AWS services, and there are a lot of services, right? So it is like I'm just using that creativity to build it actually. Okay, so that way, whether it's S3, EC2 instances, I think everyone starts from there, right? But in the initial days when I was using it, I was just scrubbing all these blocks, developing my product and everything. But I have seen in last 3 years that AWS is providing the blueprint, right? So those services like your AWS Batch, Lightsafe, all those things internally are using the same services, but giving ease of use to the customer, right? So today, rather than I spend a lot of time architecting the scalability, cost effectiveness and everything, I'm using those services and saving my time, right? So this is the experience what I have, and so far it's nice. I try to use other public clouds as well, but I think still I feel more comfortable with it.
Thank you so much. It was lovely hearing your experience as well.
some medical services to village area, right? So they are providing like on a government ICU type of flowers and nurses there or monitoring on the website, right? Because
Villages में it's obvious, right? कि AI क्या कर रहा है? अगर हम बहुत ही उसको मतलब अगर मैं बहुत ही बेसिक लेवल पे देखूं, it is taking the intelligence of an expert और उसको for lack of a better word आप डॉकर कंटेनर में डाल रहे हो और उसको कहीं भी डिप्लॉय कर रहे हो, राइट? आज की डेट में अगर आपको एक एक्सरे पे कैंसर ढूंढना है, राइट, तो एक देयर आर गुड डॉक्टर्स, ग्रेट डॉक्टर्स एंड नॉट सो गुड डॉक्टर्स, राइट? मतलब वो भी इंसान है, इंसान हर लेवल के होते हैं, राइट? तो यूजिंग एआई आप क्या कर सकते हो? आपने लेट्स से 10,000 एक्सरे लिए, 5,000 में कैंसर है, 5,000 में कैंसर नहीं है, राइट? अब ये हमें पता कैसे चलेगा कि 5,000 में है, 5,000 में नहीं है? बिकॉज अगर मैं अच्छा डॉक्टर नहीं हूं तो मैं 3,000 ही ढूंढ पाऊंगा। अगर मैं बहुत अच्छा डॉक्टर हूं शायद मैं 5 की जगह 5,500 ढूंढ लूं, जो 500 मिस हो रहे हैं। सो व्हाट वी कैन डू इज वी कैन टेक एक एक्सपर्ट, समबडी जिसके पास 30 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, उससे हम वो 10,000 स्कैन पढ़वाएंगे, उससे पूछेंगे यार आप बताओ किसमें कैंसर है, किसमें कैंसर नहीं है। फिर वो डेटा लेके हम एक एआई मॉडल को ट्रेन करेंगे एंड वो एआई मॉडल वो 30 साल वाले एक्सपीरियंस वाले डॉक्टर का, जो दिल्ली में बैठा है, बॉम्बे में बैठा है, यूएस में बैठा है, कहीं अलग ही जगह बैठा है, उसकी इंटेलिजेंस को लेके हमने एक एआई में बना दिया और वो एआई को लेके उत्तराखंड के रूरल एरिया में एक एक्सरे मशीन के साथ जोड़ कि जब वहां पे विलेजर आ रहा है उसका एक्सरे से स्कैन हो रहा है और विद इन 5 सेकंड्स, 15 सेकंड्स, 25 सेकंड्स वो बता देगा कैंसर, नो कैंसर। सो दैट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ एआई इन जनरल कि आपने एक एक्सपर्ट लेवल पर्सन की इंटेलिजेंस को पूरी दुनिया में डेमोक्रेटाइज कर दिया।
तो इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं? SMB लीडर्स स्टूडियो में यहाँ इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा एक प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया, तो क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
I will first thank you to the AWS to organizing such a wonderful event, the event called SME on AWS. The AWS focus how SME can onboard on AWS and how they can use the services of AWS. AWS has a variety of services. They have especially focused on SME sector. They have a pay and use model where you don't need to worry about your bills. You just need to use the services. After that, you can pay depending upon your usage. You don't need to pay monthly in advance. Secondly, they are especially focused on SME. Lots of cloud services are focusing on large enterprises, but AWS has a variety of services for SMEs, MSMEs, and startups. And the audience is very, very fruitful for this discussion what we had right now. And AWS is the #1 cloud service provider in the world, and they have lots of competitors, but what's the advantage of AWS? Their support. They have a variety of support services. You can access the support services 24/7 from your desk. You have also option to get support from AWS certified engineers as well. So that's the main theme of this event, and I am hoping there are lots of more discussions will in near future.
SME ऑन क्लाउड्स के बारे में भी कुछ बताया है यहाँ पर, तो ये क्लाउड्स का आम दर्शकों के लिए थोड़ा कन्फ्यूजन है, वो भी आप क्लियर कर दें।
या क्लाउड्स के लिए ज़्यादातर ये जो नॉर्मल यूजर हैं उनके बारे में ज़्यादा जो कन्फ्यूजन है वो क्या है, वो सिक्योरिटी के लेके थोड़ा सा वो होते हैं। जैसे मान लो अब जब भी हम क्लाउड की बात करते हैं तो पीपल समझते हैं क्लाउड क्या है, और आपका डेटा ऑनलाइन है। अब जहाँ डेटा ऑनलाइन हो और सिक्योरिटी, ऑब्वियसली सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न ज़रूर होगा, और उसी के लिए थोड़ा सा जो SME क्लाइंट है या जो नॉर्मल यूज़र है वो थोड़ा सा डरता है। लेकिन अगर आप AWS की सर्विसेज यूज़ करते हो तो एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर, they are the #1 cloud services provider, and they are not going to compromise with your security. If your data is on AWS, then it's 100% secure. You must have heard about, Covin app. Covin app is 100% hosted on AWS. Our all vaccination certificate is already hosted on AWS, so we don't need to worry about the security. It's 100% secure. Lots of Government of India app is also hosted on AWS. So normal users do not need to worry anything about the security.
थैंक यू वेरी मच, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
आपका रोहित जी, आपने बहुत अच्छी इन्फॉर्मेशन जो है आम जनता के लिए दी है।